Hello, everyone, and welcome to another phenomenal episode here at Millennial Motive. I want to first start by saying, obviously, everyone's going through a hard time right now in 2020 with COVID-19 on the rise and with race riots going on right now as well. I know that it's hard times for pretty much everyone out there right now. But for the ones that are tuning into this, that are listening, that are viewing this next episode, I want to first let everyone know that you're loved. You're cared for, and you are in my thoughts. I know that everyone's going through it at the same time, and times are definitely tough for everyone. So everyone that is tuning in, you're in my prayers, first and foremost. But when it comes to this episode, it's a very, very phenomenal and enlightening episode, especially during current times right now. The crazy thing about this episode is we actually filmed this before everything that occurred. And you'll realize that a lot of good information, especially with the times right now, is in this next episode. In this episode, we'll be interviewing a very great friend of mine, AV the Manetainer. She's who I personally use to get my haircut. She's a local barber in Temecula, California. And without further ado, let's hop into it. All right, man. So, AV, I know it's been a minute. It's been a minute. You know, obviously I'm sitting here and I know I need a cut.
It's okay.
You know, but it's okay. It's okay.
I need one too.
Nah, you looking fresh as always.
I'm the barber.
You're the barber.
I need a cut. It's all good.
No, but you know, one of the things I want to ask you, AV, is what motivated you to get into the barber industry? You know,
man, the same thing we was just talking about, needing haircuts.
Yeah.
Needing a haircut. And you know what's crazy is you asked me that story. Well, you asked me this, and today I have on this shirt. I actually started cutting hair in the Army, like overseas, downrange. Right. I needed a haircut. I needed a haircut bad. And at the time when I was down there, I didn't really trust too many foreigners, you know what I mean, to put a blade to my dome and you know, to slice me up or cut me up or get me right nonetheless. Now, you know, 2020 hindsight, I know that whole fear was wrong because that was one of the best haircuts I did have was when I was down there. But that's how I started cutting hair. I needed a cut of my own and I would cut my own hair, and I'd walk around base and people would see my cuts and they'll compliment me on the cut, ask me who cut it. I'll tell them I did. Next thing I know, they got me in their barracks room or dorm or whatever, cutting their hair, and I'm in chew to chew and dorm to dorm and barracks to barracks cutting soldiers' hair. Because
they knew. They were like, look at that liner, look at that fade, wait a minute.
It was clean. It took me a little second, you know, especially not having all the tools I would have over here, but it came out clean.
Yeah. So you would say what really, you know, motivated you to take this career path was the fact that in the very beginning you knew that you needed your haircut on your own, but you had no one to do it. Yeah. So you ended up cutting your own hair.
Yep.
And then from there you just kind of progressed over time. I remember, you know, we're in the city of Temecula, and you know, I did not want to go to no sports clips. I did not want to go to no greats clips. You know, with people in our culture, we have to literally find somebody that we can trust
that can cut our hair.
And it's a for real thing
that can tame these kinks,
right?
Right.
That really understand, because I messed up before I met you as my barber. I messed up, and I told you this in the past, remember? Oof. I messed up and I went to a sports clip and they tore me up, and that's where I was like, I need to find myself a black barber somewhere. And
I remember the day you came into the shop, man.
Yeah, I came in there and I was like, I was nervous because it's, you know, once you find a barber, you're good. But when you don't have one, and you gotta connect with the barber, and that barber has to now know your hair, right? So I'm sitting there sweating, like, is she gonna mess up my hair? Please don't let her mess up my hair. But I'm telling you, AV.
Now keep it real. You have watched me cut like 2 or 3 hairs before you even.
I did. So I was like, okay, she's got me. No, she's got me. But then, you know, I'm telling you to this day, you know, for the people that are listening, the people that are watching, AV by far cuts my hair the best out of anybody I've ever gotten my hair cut.
Man, thank you.
Being straight up.
Appreciate it.
And it shows, because you look at where you're at now. You come a long way.
Yes, we have. This has been a long, tedious journey.
Yeah. one of the things I want to ask you, AV, like, you know, somebody that's just now starting off, you know, that maybe just bought their first pair of clippers, you know, what advice would you give that person?
YouTube, brother. YouTube. YouTube and just keep at it. Passion. The reason I say YouTube nowadays is because basically the barber industry has took a turn to where it's so lucrative to put everything we know on YouTube. So now you, as a basic barber, you know what I mean, can go pick up a YouTube channel or a pair of clippers and go watch certain YouTube channels and learn the necessities of barbering. And if you have clientele, like if you're a 16-year-old in high school and you got all your little friends around you, and the number one thing you do all day is jump on YouTube, and you happen to have a $20 pair of clippers, you can take that $20 pair of clippers, learn on YouTube, cut up all your little friends, make $5 a head learning, and now you have a business all off of YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Just picking the clippers up and practicing off your friends' expenses, but they'll learn to love you one day once you start getting a haircut, right?
Yeah.
But you get the basis off of YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, what was powerful, what you just said is you gave two things in that answer.
Did I?
Yeah, because YouTube, yeah, you're right. It's such a big learning platform.
Yes.
But number two, for all those people out there thinking about getting into this industry, she literally just set a premise on how to start a business.
Easily.
You know what I mean?
There are people out there now that are in high school letting their friends mess their hairs up for free. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know for a fact I just fixed 2 haircuts last week.
Yeah.
Because a friend just wanted to get a lineup real quick, and he let his homie do it. The homie gave him a whole bowl cut, but I had to fade him up just last week. You know what I mean?
That's
so
crazy.
people are out there doing it for less.
Yeah.
You can easily take 10 minutes off of Snapchat, young man or young woman. Put that 10 minutes into that YouTube video. Go get that same friend's head you just messed up and try to flick that fade out. You know what I mean? Now try to finesse the fade rather than going blind.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, this is easy money. This is hard work, focus, and hustle.
Yeah, I bet.
That's it.
Because with the same as like in real estate, right? It's all about your client. You got to take care of that client, and then from there, that client, the word of mouth starts to pass in the real estate game. And I'm pretty sure it's the same as in the barber industry, hands down.
Oh yeah.
You know, where if you do really, really well, there's no doubt in your mind that they're gonna go tell their homies and their friends, stuff like that, where to go to. And so the referral business for you guys is like, in my opinion, the key.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Go.
You know, one of the things that I was gonna ask too is, what would you say is like the hardest thing to deal with being a barber? You know,
the marketing and the hustle aspect of it.
Yeah.
There are days I sit in here all day, all day, and may not get one head.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? It's rare for me now because I'm by appointment based only. But just the hustle aspect of it, actually getting out there, actually passing your cards out, actually putting your emphasis on your Facebook posts and putting the emphasis on your Instagram posts and just doing everything possible to get every person in your vicinity, in your shop vicinity, in your social media vicinity to know who you are and what you do.
Right, your sphere of influence.
You know that's what it's, your sphere of influence. You know what I mean? Just getting out there, man. And like you say, word
that's
of
the
mouth.
hardest.
Yeah,
that was the hardest. I mean, not for you anymore, because
Nah.
I remember when I first started getting my hair cut with you. You didn't necessarily have your appointments thing going.
And that's why I started.
It was one of those things where I was able to kind of walk in and just, you already had a cut going, and I can come in and swoop in right after. But now it's like, you guys, AV is literally taking the barber industry to a whole nother level. And what I mean by that is she's making sure that she's putting herself out there on social media very, very heavy, and it's worked out for her to the point now she has to have a appointment booking system, to back up the work. And and so I remember when you didn't even have have it.
It was
and now it's actually pretty cool knowing that you can just hop on there, click what it is that you want done, set the appointment time without really even having to give you a call. It's just like you already know as soon as you wake up in the morning what your book of business is.
And
you know?
you said the key to it, because when you first met me, I was basically a walk-in basis barber. I was just trying to get my name out there, just trying to get people to know who I am.
Right.
People started knowing who I am.
Now,
and you have to kind of gain some control as a barber, a young barber. You're hungry. As a growing barber, you start to think of other avenues of wealth and how long you're gonna be behind the chair, and you personally need to gain more control of your time. Because I was once a young barber and I was in the shop 12, 13 hours a day, not eating, not sleeping, you know, just there, head at the head at the head, 20, 25 heads a day.
Wow.
I was taking time for my family, wife, other aspects, other hobbies. You know, I had to gain control of my personal time. Yeah. And that's when I implemented the appointment system. So now I know when I get in here, when I get out. You know, now I know how to manage my time better. Yeah. So it's a lot.
Yeah. Which I'm probably going to end up having a need pretty soon here too, because I get it. When you first start, like me as a real estate agent, when I first started, you know, I let all my sphere of influence know, but the business didn't come right away. You know, I was sitting there twiddling my thumbs and I was waiting for it. You know, but that's the thing, you know, you can sit and wait for it, or you can go after it and go get it. You know, and you know, thankfully it's helped in a lot of different ways as far as real estate's concerned, and now people start coming to me and asking me for advice and all that stuff. But it's only because I had to put myself out there. So I agree with you, man. I mean, the hardest part in any business, but I'm pretty sure, again, like in the barber industry, is really putting yourself out there in the beginning stages. You got to stay hungry. Yeah.
Got to stay hungry. Got to stay hungry. Do all the things that nobody wants to do. Get up early. Go to sleep late. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's you got to stay hungry as an entrepreneur. Yeah. Got to. Yeah. You got to take ego out of it too. You got to take the ego completely out of it. You got to. I got to clean my own floors now. I have nobody to do that for me. You know what I mean? It's different. It's different. I can't pay nobody to come in here and clean these floors anymore. Yeah. You know? I got to clean these. Right.
But they're yours.
Yeah.
That's the difference, because at first you work in someone else's business, you know, in someone else's shop, but now you got your own shop. Yeah. But see, that having your own business and having, you know, your own setup gives you a different sense of pride. You know, once you get there, you're like, okay, I got mines. You know, and then so when you're sweeping and you're cleaning it up, you're gonna take more pride in it because it's now yours. You know what I mean?
There's levels to entrepreneurship. Yeah. You know, and I'm not at the peak by far. This is just a small suite compared to a full salon, a full shop. You know what I mean? At my level of entrepreneurism, I had to think about what I can manage and what I couldn't manage. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. What control I did want, and how could I get that control without sacrificing certain things. Yeah. And that's how we ended up here.
Yeah. That's one of the things that's leading into that. And one of the things I want to lean into is like, you know, I know that this is just a stage for you, and it's a very, very big stage in your life. Yeah. But what is your say goal overall, like the end?
Always.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
I'll give myself the next 5. The next 10, I'm going to be Kobe status, hopefully.
Hey.
R.I.P. Kobe. R.I.P. Kobe. But the next 10 years for sure, to open up a school. You know what I mean? My whole thing about barbering is to give back. This is something that fell into my lap. And this is a very lucrative career and a very good career that it has longevity in it. I want to teach this to as many people as I can. You know what I mean? So I'd rather have a school. And then... for the most part, some type of salon suites, such as I'm in now. You know what I mean? Yeah. That type thing.
So being able to run the full suites.
I want to franchise these up. I don't want just one. I want a couple. I want like 20. You know what I mean?
Y'all hearing this right now? You know, watch out.
Hey, you know, if I say it,
coming.
I say it, it's coming. But I have a goal. Like I say, man, just being behind the chair for the as long as I have, and watching my mentors still cutting hair. You know what I mean? They're still cutting hair. And I'm like, I honestly don't want to cut hair for 50 years. I love it. And when you do something you love for 50 years straight, I feel like you begin to lose the love for it. You know what I mean? I give myself about another 10, 15 years behind this chair. Yeah. And then you're going to see me managing salon suites somewhere. You know what I mean? Instructing the younger generation.
Teaching them. Yeah. Teaching what you already know.
Exactly. Putting somebody else behind the chair.
Yeah, teaching what you've experienced. Exactly. Yeah. You know, so that way they can actually, there's more and more people out there that can actually learn how to do a fade and then line up.
and
to put an end to that epidemic of people having messed up hair.
Like this is a great career to get into. Like you don't even need a high school diploma, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Like anybody that's out there 16 years of age right now, if you're watching this, you can go and be an apprentice at 16 years of age. That is what, a sophomore in high school?
Yeah.
And you could be making $40,000 by the time you're a senior.
True.
Yeah.
Because it's just like how it's with real estate. Real estate ain't going nowhere. Guess what else ain't going nowhere?
Hey,
people need their haircut.
Hair. What do they call that? They call that something as far as the job is concerned. What is it? Growth? Is it growth or operational growth or opportunity
Passive
growth?
income?
No, it's not passive income. It's something to do with growth. I forgot. It'll come to me later. I forgot.
No, you're 100% right, man. I mean, the cool thing about what you're doing is, yeah, anybody can get into it for sure, you know, and grow from it for sure.
Just gotta have the heart, the passion, and the focus.
Exactly. So, you know, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a short break and we're gonna get into the next segment. Stay tuned, guys.
Stay tuned, guys.
There you go. Listen, buying and selling a house is a big step for a lot of people, but with the right person by your side, anything is possible. That's why picking a realtor you can trust matters. I decided to get into real estate to provide hope that with the right help, anything is possible. So if you or a loved one needs any help understanding how to buy or sell a house, contact me. I'll be the realtor, 760-675-2275. Now, let's get back to the show. Welcome back to the second segment of Millennial Motive, everybody. And in this one, we're actually going to be talking about something very, very interesting. We're going to be talking about how to deal with adversity, you know, in a different field of work. And it's something that me and AV talked about before, you know, how even in real estate or even in the barber industry, in any industry really, and being, you know, African American, how we deal with that, you know, or in other ways, like how you were saying, you know, so.
Yeah. Adversity in the barbering industry. It comes in many facets, man. It comes in many facets because you deal with people on such an interpersonal level.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because you're in the business of people.
Mm-hmm. They come in and sometimes, you know, it's kind of like a therapy session sometimes. So sometimes a person may show me a side of them or a racial side of them per se that they didn't even realize they were telling me because they were venting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I had,
and then you catch it and you're like,
and you just kind of,
you gotta kind of just
because it's like a therapy session. At that point in time, I can't knock him for venting to me.
Right.
I can judge him in the back of my head. You
Right.
know, I can judge him, but as far as like at that moment telling him something about it or correcting him is not necessarily a correction. What you have to do is you have to coax yourself into that situation and coax yourself into that conversation and bring it up. We're like, well, man, why you had to call that man that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, man, hold on. Now, why'd you have to handle her like that? Is it because she's this? And then you get into that conversation with your client. Or there's other times where I've had clients, you know, try to play me for something that I wasn't. You know what I mean? We have old nasty men in the barber field.
I
you
bet.
know what I mean? So yeah, just those types of things. And when you face them, you kind of, I don't want to say you turn the other cheek, but you weigh out the good and the bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Do I want to sacrifice this client because of this?
Right.
Do I want to retain this client because of this? You know what I mean?
Right.
At the end of the day, the opinion he has still has to pay your bill.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's funny you say that because as a real estate agent, I dealt with it before too, and I had to think to back my mind, well, you know what? I just have to just deal with it because at the end of the day, I'm going to have a happy client. Whether they feel a certain way or not, the client's going to be taken care of, my bills will get paid, and we'll part ways.
Is there satisfaction for us in that though? Like how long, these are the things I question myself with. How long will I be satisfied with the simple fact of me sucking this up because they're paying this bill?
Right.
Like at what point is it
gonna end?
Like you know what I mean?
So I guess how about this? Let's say metaphorically speaking, you have a client that comes in and he's coming in because you cut his hair clean, right? But he constantly brings that up. Would you say you would eventually be like, hey man, I can't cut your hair no more? Or would you continue to just do it?
All depends. Money talks.
Yeah.
Money talks. Money talks. I feel people with money talk certain ways. Depending on how much he was tipping and paying for that haircut. Honestly, depends on how much I'm gonna take. You ever saw the movie The Help?
Yeah.
You saw the end of that movie?
Yeah.
How she gave the person a little pie at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
How long did she deal with that before she gave that lady that pie?
Right.
And she got the pure satisfaction out of that pie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
She watched that lady eat that pie.
Right.
The lady say, and that pie was good. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But how much was it worth to
her at the time? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before she got to that pie.
Yeah. Because I feel like in any field, it's us being of color, it's hard to just never mind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really is hard to just kind of turn the other cheek. But we understand that to stay professional, we have to just do what we got to do. Because people are going to be set in their ways, and there's nothing you can change about it. What am I going to say to somebody that is going to help them to go, oh, that's right, I'm going to change my thought process immediately? There's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly.
Because that's their personality. That's they've been molded into having that from a young age, or even, it doesn't really matter. It's just what they're around. That's what they're used to in their life.
We just have to turn it around. Like, I've just turned it around as far as adversity to me, basically into what I can gain from that. And I know sometimes it sounds kind of like coonery, but I know for a fact I'm not going to change nothing on no worldwide level.
Right.
All I have is these four walls within me.
Right.
You know what I mean? When this man leaves my chair or this woman leaves my chair again, their viewpoints will still be the same.
Right.
No matter what conversation I have with them in here. And believe me, the conversations come up because if anybody knows me, they know I keep a red, black, and green flag somewhere. You know what I mean? I keep one. I'm very, very that lane.
Yeah.
But I have a price, and I'm not gonna lie to nobody. If that man come in here talking some craziness, and the price is right, I'm gonna listen to that craziness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to that craziness, and I'm gonna say my piece, and I'm gonna charge my piece. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna definitely charge my piece. Exactly. Everybody got a price.
Exactly.
It's not coonery, just everybody has a price.
Yeah. And
if he's willing to pay that price to speak his mind,
well,
then both wins.
Yeah, we both win. Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you're willing to pay that price to speak your mind, then by all means,
we both win. So hey, exactly.
That's how I deal with adversity in the barber field.
I like that. I like that.
Saying?
No, this was nice though, AV. I really appreciate you taking the time to be on the show.
No problem.
We're definitely going to make sure we plug everything. If you want to go ahead and let the viewers and listeners know where to find you, now's the perfect time.
Well, since he put it out there like that, where we're located at right now, is the main scheme. It's located at 29955 Technology Drive, 103, Marietta, California, 92563. Available 7 days a week. We do hot shaves, fresh fades, and everything to make sure you don't get played. Come holler at me, man. I got you. Straight up. Got you.
All right, AV. Appreciate you.
Much love. I actually got a client around the corner. If y'all got some time, y'all can actually watch me chop him up. I know he wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Y'all cool with that?
Yeah.
All right, let me get him in.
Cool. Let's do it.
Sweet.
All right.